Welcome to Beauty and Chronic Pain. I'm Becky, and as you know from the title, today I'm doing a sunset look. So I've already done one eye. I'm super proud of how this looks. I'm going to come really close so you can see. And I did this look with the BH Cosmetics Take Me Back to Brazil palette, which is inspired by the Rio Carnival. It's got 35 colours, pressed pigment palette. Comes with a mirror, and look at all those beautiful vibrant colours. It's got everything from, you know, pinks to orange, yellow, green, aqua, blues, purples, even a black down there. And then these two shimmery shades at the bottom. This one here is more iridescent, so it's got a slight green tinge to it. And this one's more like a bone white, I guess they call it. Annoyingly, it doesn't say the colours exactly, so I guess it doesn't really matter. Some of these are satiny, there's a couple slightly glittery, but it's not overly glittered. So I'm going to show you how I did this eye, and let's match it to this eye. I'm going to use... This eye should be better than this eye because I've had some practice. Yeah, so I'm going to use a NYX eyeshadow base. Whoops, I'm terrible at this still. There we go. And I've used this before. It's supposed to make your eye, it says on the bottom, for 100 times more vivid colour. Base camp for true stay on, stay put, stay long eyeshadow colours. I used this before, but I think it was like back at Halloween. So I don't... my Halloween makeup went really well. You can see that on my Instagram. Oh, there's my other pot. So I'm going to use a brush for the base. I actually used concealer to set the base, and then I powdered over it to make sure there's no oils coming through. I think this might be a much better idea to really make the colours pop. So I'm going to end up with two different sunset eyes, because, you know, why not? Just spread that all over. It's quite a thick consistency, and I don't think you're supposed to blend it per se, you just, you know, use it to cover your lid so that when you bring your other colours on it, it's going to really make it pop. I'm going to bring it right up onto my crease. Try to make the base as evenly layered as possible. Don't know why I said that as two separate words and evenly. Unlike last time, I'm going to try it, like, I remembered to put my mirror in front of me so you can see what I'm doing instead of turning to the side like a numpty. But I'm still learning. And no one's called me out on it, so I guess that means you very kindly bearing with me. Slightly annoyingly, this is mixing with the concealer underneath, so it's not pure white, it's kind of dirty white, but that shouldn't make any difference really. I think that's enough. Put the lid back on that so it doesn't dry out. The first thing I did was take a fluffy brush The one I use actually has too much orange over it. Let me use a cleaner one rather than one I just used. And I'm going in with the yellow, this yellow colour. Third along from the top next to some beautiful pinks. I'm going to use this to, I just caught my face 10 times magnified. No thank you. Close that side of my mirror. I wonder if I should set this with the powder because it's so creamy. I can feel it like moving around a bit. Just grab my Coty Airspun powder, translucent. Quickly do that. Just a clean brush. It's actually a stippling brush, but it'll be fine to set the powder because I don't really use this one that much. Just chuck a lot of powder on that, and that should dry out the cream. Make it move less. And I've got no primer on my face, so it'll make wiping fallout a lot easier. It won't cling to my skin if it's just moisturised and cleansed. Oh, translucent powder just gets everywhere, or loose powder gets everywhere. Okay, so let's try again with that yellow. This fluffy brush is by Ruby. I definitely got this with a subscription box. Not sure which one. Putting the powder over that has made my base so cakey, so pray for me that this is going to work, because I shouldn't have just stuck to what I did before, because at least I knew that worked, but I thought this would be better. And so far it is not. I'm going to start again with that. Well, if you've been wondering about trying that eyeshadow base, now you know what happens when you use it and you use powder straight after. Maybe you needed to dry in first because it was just so creamy. I'm not sure. I was just thinking I got a jumbo eye pencil here. Eye pencils are good for a good base, but yeah, no, that's a silver. Alright, get back in with the yellow, put it into the crease. You gotta build it up. This palette is supposed to be like highly pigmented, but I find that a lot of them I had to like really build up the colour. And for my base as well, I used the Shape Tape concealer. Obviously from Tarte. In case you're wondering, I haven't done my brows. This is a brow tint that I tried for the first time from Revolution, Makeup Revolution, and I like it much better than the Maybelline one I used before because it did not turn my hairs ginger, which is good because unless you want ginger brows, it's not a good look. It's not a good look for me, anyway. You leave the tint on for 2 hours, then you peel it off. It scrapes off really easily, and your brows stay done for like 3 days. Personally, I think it looks better after like the next day or even 2 days after, because at first for me it's so dark. It's weird because I've got such sparse brows. Anyway, now I'm going to go in with this orange with a different brush. This is actually a base shadow brush from Real Techniques, but this is what I used earlier, just using the point of it, not sideways. So you can use the same brush for different things by holding it differently and using like a different part. So this is concentrating on the point of it rather than the sides. So the yellow is my transition. Bring some orange in to the crease. It's up to you how high you want to bring it on your brow bone and how dark you want your colours, you know, how much you want to build it up. You might want a more muted sunset, you might want a brighter sunset colour. I don't know. It's up to you. You know, if you want to make it more wearable, you want to make it more of an oomph, do you. Now I brought this down over my lid as well to make this a bit of the base. Now sunset. It's looking good, isn't it? It's coming together quite nicely, quite quickly. I really like this orange shade. I feel it's not too neon and gross. Oh, sweating as usual. So the next colour, get a new brush again. Got black, picked up some black from something. This is a flat shadow brush, and then I went in with a pink, a darker pink, the darkest pink on this palette, which is there. I use that like you would if you were using a black or brown on the outer corner of the eye. Build it, build it, build it. Fill that right into the socket, into the crease. I'll just bring that to the centre of my eye. Just build up that colour. Try to bring it down to the lash line as much as possible. It's up to you how far out you want the colour to go beyond the or to build this up to the beyond, you know, the perimeter. I just felt that side needed a little bit more. The next step is to carve out, because this is sort of like an ombre sunset, and you want some more bright colours to go here. So I'm going to carve out a half cut crease. No, that's not the brush I used earlier. This is the brush I used earlier, which is my number 7 brush. Take a little bit of the concealer and just brush it on. And then it's nice and flat, take it in to the inner corner, bring it out across to the center of your eye. And then because I have hooded eyes, so do I look up, and then if it needs to come any higher, it will. It'll tell me where I need to put some more concealer. So stopping halfway across the eye because it's a half cut crease. Just trying to angle my head so you can see what I'm doing properly. Hopefully you can. and then put the lid on that. Let's give it a second to dry down a bit. You can set that as well. Oh, why didn't I see this brush earlier? With some powder. Going in with the Coty Airspun again. Tap off the excess. Just to dry that out a smidge. Carefully putting the lid on so the powder doesn't go everywhere. And the next step is to get the brush that you used with the pink. Get a little bit more pink and just soften up that line where the concealer is. And then the brush where you had the orange. Am I using two different base shadow brushes? I'm going to use this brush actually. It's more fine, closely packed bristles. It's the one I used earlier as well. Take that orange and just build up that colour again in the crease. Lovely, lovely. I like that. I tried wetting my brushes and going in this colour earlier to see if I could, you know, get a brighter orange. And annoyingly, that didn't really do much. Like, that just looks more peach to me than really orange, so. What can you do? Get the yellow. You don't want the yellow to fade. Put a bit more that side too. And then you want to get a fine detailer brush. It's the one I used earlier, just giving it a quick clean. Now I'm going to take a new brush. What a pain in the butt. This is the problem between going between yellows and oranges, and go in the same yellow from earlier. And then you bring it into the corner. Just try and pack that colour on. Some powder comes out when you swirl the brush in the pan, so I'm trying to be careful, just pick up those bits. Hopefully that getting too much fallout, and you just do that in the inner crease. In the corner. And then get another densely packed brush, and you go back in with the orange. Put that in the middle. So that's a bit ombre. Try to build up the orange as much as possible. This orange has been a pain in my behind. Unfortunately, I don't really have a lot of orange shadows, and there's not that much orange in the pan. In the palette, sorry. Just to make it match the other eye, I'm going to wet the brush again. That's what I did earlier. You could wet it with satin spray or any kind of facial spray. just pack some more orange on if you can. If you give up with that, take your finger and work it in. Annoyingly, look at that. You can hardly see any orange in that, so I don't know if it's because I wet it or what, but it has been a massive pain. You can take a clean brush and then go into the red and put some in the back of my hand. Get the yellow, again, put that straight over the red, make that orange. Take yet another clean brush and just pick up that orange and put that on your eye. That did nothing. What a fail. Let's put some yellow there. Put the yellow across some more. Get the orange, no, the red even, and put that straight onto your lid. Because obviously red plus yellow is orange. There we go. It's not as vibrant orange as I'd have liked, but you know, it works, it works. And the next step that I did is carve out the crease again, the half cut crease. I would have preferred like a darker purple for this, but I don't have any dark purple liquid liner, so I'm using the NYX Vivid Brights in Petal. Resting my arm on the table, and you bring that down into the very inner corner, and then you draw a semicircle as carefully as possible, as thin as possible, and then stop at the center. That one ended up a bit fatter than the other. Then what I did is I got one of these finer detail brushes, I actually used one of my eyebrow brushes, got a purple from this palette, this purple, but I'm actually going to go 2 down, hop over the blue. So I think this is the shade of purple I'd prefer. There is a NYX pencil that would be better for it, which is the right shade. I think that needs to dry a bit more. But I'll include that in the box, the description box, so you know which one would be a better choice, in my opinion. Then you do the same colours underneath on your lower lash line. Any smudge brush should be okay, or fine detailer brush. I've got lots of flat lids. So you start with the yellow, then you go in with this failure of an orange. Clean that brush on a Magnetone. I can't remember what it's called, some Magnetone thing that looks like a blanket. Then go back to the pink you used earlier. Just do the outer corner of the lower lash line. I'm going to go in with a bit more yellow. Go back to the line that you carved out. My eyes do not match. It's so late in the day for me and I'm so tired because of medication. Still trying to adjust to the dose. That line should have been much thinner and not as high up. But what can you do now? Nothing, it's too late. Then you have Existential Despair. And mascara. Where did I put the mascara that I used? Aha. It's the L'Oreal, a new one, L'Oreal Ultimate Mascara, which is a funky little, no, Unlimited Mascara, sorry. It's in a funky little bottle. Wiggle it. Just coat the lashes. You can do false lashes with this look if you want, but I'm not going to because it's like 9 PM here on a Wednesday and I'm not going anywhere. I'm so annoyed with the orange that I can't do it. I can't bear to do anymore. I don't usually wear mascara on my lower lashes because it tends to I just find them all too heavy and they drag me down and give me weird clockwork orange effect lashes in my opinion. Now you get a tissue, a damp tissue or wet wipe. Check for any fallout. You pick that up later. And that is the eye look done. That's the finished look. I've just put on a light layer of foundation, warmed up my face with some contour, done some highlight, brow bones in the corner there, and then a nude glossy lip. I hope you like this video. If you want to see more bold looks, this one is a bit complicated, especially for me, but except for the orange not working, I think it was a lot of fun. Let me know what you think, and if you like this, give it a thumbs up. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you next time. Bye!